this is the Sedona transmissions, day 2. Don't know who's going to show up, so I'm going to just close my eyes and see who arrives and what message they have for us today. Sometimes you are invited into conversations that you are not expecting, and this is one of those days where you are going to be talked to by beings that you are not expecting. Our generation of extraterrestrial beings is being guided to your planet because it is undergoing a transformation process that is important for you to participate in. These generational experiences that we have had before, you also have had before as a planet. This is not an unusual physiological, physical, energetic, or galactic experience. In fact, it is quite common. If you look at your geologic record on your planet, you will see that there have been a multiplicity of eras and eons and epochs during which there were great evolutionary expansions, during which there was destruction, during which there was transformation. And for some reason, because of your education processes on this planet, you have come to believe that you are going to stay the same forever and ever, amen, even though your society is so young, even though it is so youthful in its expression. This is because you are kept ignorant of the great challenges and the transformations that have gone on your planet. If you had been educated correctly, if you had been shown these great transformations and transitions, and you had been correctly informed about who taught you things and who brought you technologies and bring you technology still, you would have a much broader understanding of your planet's history, of your planet's aging and ebbing and flowing of cycles. But because you're kept in ignorance, because you in fact are not only kept in ignorance but taught lies, you are unable to process the information that we as extraterrestrial beings must bring you. We must bring you truth that you have been told is impossible. We must bring you stories of eons gone by that you have been told were silent chapters in your Earth's history, and they were far from silent. They were in fact filled with wonderful civilization, wonderful communications between your galactic brothers and sisters and those beings living on your planet, all of whom have not been human Earth dwellers. There have been many, many societies and civilizations that were started and propagated and populated by extraterrestrial beings, some of which have survived in your mythologies and are called gods. The Greek gods and the Roman gods, for example, many of those beings were beings that were from other planetary systems and brought knowledge and powers that were incomprehensible to the current Earth dwellers, and so they called them gods. They revered them, and if they were very fearful, they sacrificed bodies to them, which of course is never asked for by those beings, but sometimes old superstitions die hard. And Earth beings have had to be educated, and you have gone back into a dark age once again, not through any fault of your own intelligence and your own development, physiologically or psychologically, but because you have been taught the wrong things. It is very much like those wild children that are found in your society, where they are locked in a room without the proper stimulation, without the proper food, and they do not develop properly. They come into your full expression of life stunted and frightened and limited in their abilities, physical abilities, verbal abilities. And that really is how many of us, your galactic brothers and sisters, are viewing you. This is not done in any demeaning way. We do not feel less for you. We understand what's been done to you through manipulation of your mind, through manipulation of your foods, and through manipulation of your histories. And so we must come into your world in this way so that you may begin to break off those shackles and break off those limiting beliefs and ideas in a way that is not detrimental to your sanity or your beingness, your life force. If we arrived on your doorstep in full physical form and knocked on the door and said, well, we are your galactic brothers and sisters, may we come in? This would not go very well. In fact, we would not make it to your door. We would be shot and killed by your aggressive gatekeepers and prison keepers. So we must come through these other channels, literally and figuratively, so that we can enter your minds and your hearts in a way that does not terrify you, in a way that does not make you lock the doors and shut the curtains and scream in terror that you are going to be attacked by aliens. You can see from the communications that this being is willing to participate in that we have a high intellect, that we are well educated, and that we are caring for you. We are concerned about you. We have had a great deal of concern about you since the nuclear age has dawned upon your planet. Not only you, but for us too. Nuclear bombs are very, very threatening to the fabric of time and space. They actually transition from one dimension to the other when they are used inappropriately, which is, generally speaking, in every single instant of use on your planet, the nuclear device has been used inappropriately. Now, many of you may wonder why you have not yet destroyed yourselves. Well, that is because once that first nuclear bomb was exploded on your planet, not that long ago, just a few decades ago, the call went out to all of us to come now. It was time for us to intervene in your society, because not only had you been kept in the dark for a long time by religious persecution and educational distortions, you were now being armed to the teeth in a way that was threatening to all of us as well. So that is why you saw a resurgence of UFO activity on your planet at that time, and a resurgence of extraterrestrial beings being encountered. And that is why we continue to monitor your society, because you are becoming extremely dangerous, not only to yourselves and to those beings who live closely with you, but just a dimension away, but also you are becoming very, very detrimental potentially to your planet. Your increasing fear and your increasing victimization through the manipulation of your psychology has reached a critical point now where the idea of intervention is tolerable from those higher beings that have, up until this point, allowed you to play out your games with each other. It is very similar to letting your children play, and some games are a little rougher than others, but you watch your children play. But once the rocks start throwing or the sand is being hurled in the face of the brother or sister that you are playing with, you will in fact be remanded by your parents and brought in for a timeout. And that is one of the things that is at play now. One of the things. It is not all of the things. There are other cycles that are at play that are coincidental with your society taking so much advantage of your free will through psychological and hypnotic manipulation that there is a coincidence, we will say, a coming together of situations where the hands-off policy that you would call the prime directive not to interfere and to allow free will to take place has been called out on the carpet. And these gatherings that you would call the Galactic Federation have had to come together. Many disparate civilizations from all over the galaxy and other galaxies indeed come together to decide what is the best approach to helping Earth and her peoples to regain their freedom. This is not the first time that the loss of freedom through psychological manipulation and intimidation has happened in and on planets. Yes, there are interiors of planets as well, and you have an interior of your planet that is populated by beings who have been in your world for a very, very long time. They too care about this planet. They too care that you are being led down a very, very destructive path. And so there are a multiplicity of aspects of extraterrestrial and terrestrial and interterrestrial, meaning if from inside the earth, groups that are gathering together to work together to free you from the self-imposed, inadvertently self-imposed chains that you have put on your own hearts and minds. The teachings that this being is bringing through in all different forms by many, many teachers are designed to help you break free from these conditioning programs and the deep and painful constraints that your minds have had put on them. So we would like you, as Galactic Federation members, we would like you to open up your minds and hearts to the possibility that you are not alone in this universe. Because of your societal programmings, when you start venturing into that subject, fears arise and confusion arises, and there is an overwhelming urge within you to withdraw from that expansion of mind and heart. That is because you have been trained mostly through your movies to refuse to engage with spirit and to fear extraterrestrial contact, because these have been promoted and promulgated as dangerous situations. And so a multitude of you on this earth will not participate in even thinking about your galactic brothers and sisters because you are too afraid. When a human mind is afraid, it plummets down in frequency and things get worse. And that is what you are, one of the things that you are witnessing on your planet as you are intimidated and programmed by fear from your mass media systems. Your frequency is going down and you encounter more negative extraterrestrial beings. They have more access to you. They can take your energy from you. They can manipulate and push you into situations where fear is generated and where they get their power. That is how they work. These lower frequency extraterrestrials are powerful. Do not think because they are low frequency that they are weak. Indeed, they are not. Do not think because they are low frequency that they are stupid and powerless. They are not. They have as much creative power and intelligence as the best of us. And they have used their longevity and their patience and their intellectual power to discuss with each other how best to harvest the riches from your planet. This is one of the reasons why you are seeing very, very detrimental industrial processes, very, very detrimental financial processes, very, very unhealthy pharmaceutical interventions in your what you call healing processes, although we see them as death cult processes. You must, as an individual, as a collective, as communities, you must begin to be brave and step out of the prisons in which you have painted yourselves. You must begin to ask to be connected to us. You must begin to listen to more and more conversations like this. And this is why this being is bringing forth this series of conversations at the beginning of your 2019 year so that you may face some of the fears that you are perpetuating. A fear in your mind is something that you treat as real and you continue to act as if it is so until you, in the privacy of your own home, decide that the fear you feel in your body mind is something that is alien to you. We will pardon the pun there, but it is alien to you. It has been implanted in you. You, in fact, have never had an interaction with an extraterrestrial being. So why would you be afraid of them? Ask this simple question. Why would you be filled with such fear at the possibility of encountering one such as us? You are going to feel fear because you have been indoctrinated into believing that it will be a negative encounter, that we will take something from you. But we ask you, Look at your earth, look at your industrial pollution, look at your monetary systems, look at the state in which many of your drug-addicted, fearful, and ill beings live without assistance, without community, without love, isolated from anything and anyone who can help them. And we say to you, who designed that system? Is it a being that loves you? No, indeed, it is not a being that loves you. It is a being that has no use for you whatsoever. So do not look at us and say that we are the criminals, that we are the ones that are going to hurt you, but look at the owners and operators of the current system on your planet and ask, is this a sustainable system designed by loving beings who care for our welfare and our children's health? Indeed not. So we want you to go into your intelligence. We want you to go into your hearts and minds and question the system that you have. It is beginning. You are seeing through your social media systems these ideas of questioning, but is this actually helping us? Is this system actually beneficial to us? What will our future look like if we keep doing this thing that you tell us is beneficial to us? Do you have evidence to support its continuation? These are the questions that are being asked in your society now, and we want you to ask them yourselves. We are from the Galactic Federation. We are a member group from that federation, and we have been asked to speak to you through this being, to give you impetus, to give you information so that you may understand the process, that you must begin to question your own actions. You must begin to question your own fears. You must begin to question your own terror at standing up and saying, just a second, this is not working for me. I don't want to do this anymore. This is where the revolution of your planet must begin, because you are all inadvertently participating in these prison systems. We are free beings. We love you very much. We have come to your planet and are circling around your planet and in your solar system in vast ships. And we are waiting for that tipping point where there are enough of you saying, yes, we would like to be re-educated. We would like to be shown the correct way to grow food and heal our bodies and heal our minds and our traumas. We want to be educated. We do not want to be rescued. We do not want to give up our freedoms that we do not even have. You believe you have freedoms, but we would challenge you to break out of your society, to stop following the rules, whether they be the taxation rules, the licensing rules, or the speaking rules that are now coming fast and furious into your world, the traveling rules. You will say, I am free, but you will see that you are not free when you try to break those rules that seem to be optional, but they are not. We are excited to be approaching your society in this way. It is wonderful for us to have access through beings such as this who are brave enough to break free of the social conditioning that this kind of transmission is dark or evil in some way. On the contrary, it is the forbidding of this kind of communication that is dark and evil, that has kept you in ignorance, that has kept you in fear. And so we bring forth another message from the Galactic Federation, a gathering of a multiplicity of civilizations with many different beings working together. We come from Sirius. We are Syrians, and we are here to assist you in your awakening process, as all of the members of the Galactic Federation are. We are ancient civilizations, and we have been to your planet before, and we have assisted in the development of earlier civilizations. But through the usurpation of your free will, you have lost that thread of development. And now the time has come for the whistle to blow at the end of this game. And so we want you to voluntarily go into the idea of extraterrestrials, go into the idea of choosing freedom. First of all, quietly and silently inside your mind, refusing to bow down to the fears that have been instilled in you, expanding in small ways, speaking your truth a little more, pursuing interests that you have not pursued because you thought they were frivolous or they were unimportant. But we tell you, it is in your heart, it is that direction that is the one that's going to take you on the true path towards your freedom. It is not thinking about all of the things that might happen or that might go wrong. That is how you have been mistrained. The mind must be used in association with the heart so that you are choosing freely to align with that which you want more of. This is a very important message today. We are bringing forth these messages powerfully and one after the other. You will enjoy these transmissions, these Sedona transmissions, as this being is calling them, because we are here gathering together for you. And now we want you to gather together for yourselves, but do it individually in your own heart and mind first. Ask yourself, where am I imprisoned? Where am I doing that which I don't want to do? Step up into your courage, step up into your humanity and say no more. I am going to begin to do only those things which I enjoy, only those things which bring me expansion, only those things which stimulate my heart and mind and keep my body healthy. And I am going to begin to use my mind to make choices that are in alignment with health and wealth and happiness and joy, not slavery and retribution and fear and violence. These are not working for the planet and they are not working for me. How do I know? Because I do not feel happy when I participate in those things, even though I am told I should. You must reach for your freedom with both hands. You must reach for your freedom with your heart and your mind. You must understand that you are the creator of your experience. And if you are not happy, if you are not free, then you are the one that is responsible. Not because you are stupid, not because you are unevolved, but because you have had a game played with your mind and your heart, and now is the time for you to take those powerful, powerful creative devices back. We are part of the Galactic Federation, the Sirius community and civilization. We come here together. Many of us are different from each other. Many of us are evolving in different ways, but we honor each other's freedom. We honor each other's ability to grow in different directions, and we honor each other's wisdom. And now we want to invite you to join our federation, but you cannot do it as slaves. You cannot do it as weak beings, weak-willed beings, fearful beings. You must stand up and be counted. You must stand up and learn to love yourselves as much as we love you. We will return at another time. That's the end of day 2.